Is this wireless tattoo machine kit from Amazon actually worth it? We're going to find out right here on the Floaty channel. This is a $66 kit and it's from Salon Tattooing. It comes with all these great things you see on the table and of course a wireless machine. We're going to open it up right here on the Floaty channel, but please, before we start, like and subscribe. Okay, let's take a look. So here we are with the wireless tattoo machine that comes in the $66 kit. It has a German motor in it, and it also has something called automatic torque compensation. So we're going to figure out how all that comes into play once we try it on some silicone. It's also an adjustable stroke machine. There it is. Cool. So it has some cool laser etching design on the side here. And the grip is pretty smooth all the way around. It's got those adjustable strokes. Goes from 2 to 2.3, 2.6, 3, 3.4, 3.8 to 4.2. So what's nice about those numbers are that it goes really low all the way to 2.0 and it goes really high up to 4.2. So I do like that that range is so vast, and you have a very, very low one. I think most of the ones I've looked at go to 2.3 or 2.4 really. So this kind of, it looks a little different, and I'm curious how that affects the functionality of the machine. I can tell you it's definitely weighted at the tip, which means that it's a pretty good solid grip on it. And the battery must not weigh too much. And the motor must be decent then. Let's see. Grip's actually not too bad. It's mostly the motor that's weighing it down. And let's see how the battery comes off and on here. Oh, cool. So it's just a press fit. And the battery is not too long. Seems pretty lightweight. Check out the buttons. There's the screen. Wow, the screen's really easy to read because they have this bright blue background. Sometimes that's black, and it can be a little hard to read sometimes. It's got the 0.1 increments. All right, and then of course we also have the memory mode button here, so that will just toggle. Okay, so that's basically how this thing works. I want to put a needle in it also and see how it functions. Oh, and you can see the charging port here for the battery is just a simple cable. Looks like it just goes in the top there, USB-C to USB. So I'm very impressed with this machine so far, especially for this $66 kit. The look and feel of it are really good, and the battery's great. The description also sounds amazing, but of course we're going to try it out. Let's move on though and look at what else comes in the kit. We have these tattoo needles, these Silicone tattoo needles. I've actually tried these before in the kit that I reviewed last year, and they're amazing. I'm very happy with these needles, so I'm excited to use these on some silicone. Let's see what they sent us. So we have some 3-round liners here. Let's grab one of those. We have a 7 curve mag. We have a 5-round liner. And probably another mag. This one is a 5. We'll just stick with the 1.7. Awesome. So these will be great to try out with the machine in just a moment. Okay, let's see what other little surprises come in this kit. Looks like we have some ink, bandage wrap, some cups, gloves, silicone, and paper. So really everything you need to put a tattoo on the silicone or person and tattoo them. They did send this EU compliant ink here, I noticed. So I think this is ink that you could potentially use on people. When I see ink like this, I tend to just use it for practice ink. Just the way it looks just looks a little bit more like a toy. So it just looks like we should be playing with it, not using it professionally. This one does look like a professional actual ink bottle, very similar to some of the other ink bottles that I purchase in my shop. Okay, let's get our machine bandaged. They gave you the thinner bandage wrap, just a little easier to get started. All right, the bandage wrap they sent is like a perfect size so you can get a good grip on the machine for that whole little mini roll there. So that's all done now. They got some gloves here. I'm not going to put those on. I already got some on. Let's pull out a cup though. Looks like they have big cups in here, medium, and small cups. We're going to grab, we don't have any big, huge needles. We could probably do a small cup, or let's do this medium one here. Of course, we have paper, and here's the silicone. So you get a little practice silicone with your kit. It is just a little thin piece of silicone, about 1 millimeter thick. All right, we got our ink poured. Let's grab this 3-round liner. Cool, I like these cartridges. So I really love these cartridges. They're super easy to put on and off because of the unique shape. So I'm excited to use these again. These are the same carts I used about last year in the kit that I reviewed. So we got that on there, and now it's time to change camera angle so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I've got this color ink there, and there's no secondary seal, so definitely just a practice ink. They do actually have a seal at the top though, that you have to cut, it looks like. So 1 second, let me just get some scissors. All right, so we cut the tip off and we just squirt that in there. And yeah, I don't think that's going to be very easy to keep clean, so let's just use that for practice. Okay, so I have my machine at 3.4 for stroke length. Let's turn it on. Got a pretty nice feel to the machine. Sounds very consistent so far. So ink in the tip of this cart. Seems to be getting in just fine right there. 3.4, 7.5. Let's go up a little to 8 and just see. I can get a little faster. This was definitely getting in there. I feel like 3-round liner, you shouldn't need to go too high up in stroke length to get the penetration. So it definitely looks nice and dark. Can it go even lower is a question. Let's go to a 3. So even lower there, losing a little bit of stability. So I'll probably go back up. Since we did the 3.4, let's try the 3.8. Definitely feels like one of the more stable pulls I've done. So you're probably between a 3.4 and a 3.8 for a 3-round liner. On the silicone anyway. All right, right, seems like it's getting in the silicone just fine. This machine obviously can run a 3-round liner. It's looking super good. I'm kind of curious what the 4.2 is like at a lower voltage as well. Let's see how low also the volts do go. So I'm down to a 4. Great, so that 4 volts is still getting in the silicone. Look at the cool whip shade that this machine just did. It looks very good. So that's at 4.2, and you have to turn your stroke up and your voltage down to get that effect. So it's nice that this machine can do that. Just a little more pepper shading there, a little more random. And all those needle strikes are really getting in. The needle itself is very good. It has good tension, and it seems like the machine so far is coming out of the silicone as well as it's going in. So maybe that has something to do with that torque compensation. Super easy to clean the needle too, I feel like. I'll try out some color. Seems like this red is getting in no problem. Seems to be looking nice and solid. No Twiddle. Seems like this cartridge holds a lot of ink. So red seems to be getting in just fine with this ink. Seems like a good ink actually. Try some blue here. All right, the blue's looking good. It's getting in there really nicely. I'm able to do a whole little doodle. The lining looks good. Yeah, very, very happy with this blue. Can do a little yellow. So it seems like you can line with this color, no problem. Okay, we got a little bit of yellow. Sometimes yellow doesn't go in quite as well. So let's see. So I'm going to wrap it up with the 3-round liner. As you can see, it's getting into the silicone beautifully, whether it's black or color. I can pull lines with this machine. The machine's working really, really well, especially for 66 bucks. You get all this stuff. That's kind of crazy. So let's see what else they sent us in terms of needles here. We've got that 5-round liner, and we'll start at 3.8 at 7 volts, which is where we left off for the color. We're going to go to black. First, we're just going to pull a line. Let's see if we like our settings. We're still not super low. We're at 3.8 for stroke length, so it should be good. Yeah? Yeah, it's pulling lines just fine with the 5-round liner. I'm actually really impressed with this little machine. Cool, there's some 5-round liner lines. I feel like this machine has got a lot of kick to it and it's working very well. Turned it up just a little bit. I'm now at 7.2 and I like the lines even better. I feel like they're slightly more steady here. Should we try a little color with the 5-round liner? Can we make green? We got a little bit of yellow in there. I'm just gonna touch it to the blue so it looks the shade I want. Let's see. There you go. If you need green, just mix it together and get green. right, we are done doodling with these liners. Let's go ahead and grab a mag and try out this shader. So this is a 7 curve mag. Okay, we're going to bring the stroke length down for shading. We can go to a 3 or 3.4. We can start at a 3 and just see how it feels. We want to bring it down to like a 6, I guess, for the voltage. Just a tiny shader. This is at 3 for stroke length. So it should be a smoother, softer shade. Almost feel like we could go up a little bit in voltage. Pretty good little hit on it even there at that just 3. Let's come down and see. Let's come down to 2.6 and see how that feels too. Even lighter. Very nice. Let's come down. We'll make it even. I'm just trying to see how soft can I actually get this. So let me try going down to 5 volts. There we go. Okay, so at that voltage, it starts to look a little bit funky, a little bit draggy. Go back up to a 6. Yeah, so all in all, I think it did perform better so far at the 3. Let's go up to 3.4 then and see what that looks like. So we know we're going up now instead of down. So this should be a little heavier hit. Yeah, so personally 3 I think looks the best. Yeah, still just really liking 3 for stroke length and just lightly shading at 6 volts. This is for like black and gray shading or just black shading. Probably want to pack it in a little bit higher than that. So we'll go up to 3.4 for packing and maybe just a little higher in our voltage as well. All right, much better. So it looks like it's packing black, no trouble. Let's see if we can pack with some of these other colors they sent us. I'm at 6.5 volts for color. I might want to go up to 7. Elephant's got a blue little belly. I'll show you the blue. Oh, it looks like it's getting in really nice and saturated. Could do some color mixing. Some green going here. Practicing a little bit of color blending here. And get a little gradient there from darker to lighter green. Definitely able to do that with this machine. Let's try the other way. Here we'll start with yellow. So at the same setting, which is 3.4, 7 volts. Let's just try a sideline here. The needle feels so steady. It's amazing. These kind of brush strokes help me see how steady the needles are and what's actually happening. It's even better, even more steady. There's an interesting kind of pattern to this mag. All right, there's a lot of wireless kits out there, but I can tell you this one definitely works. This is the Salon $66 adjustable stroke kit that comes with everything I showed you. It's an amazing price for how it's performing on this silicone. Even on this little thin silicone, I'm also able to practice everything that I need for fine line, especially, and shading. I can also do. And as long as you are adjusting your stroke when you're changing your methods, like if you're doing a mag versus a liner and you adjust your stroke, you will get a better outcome. So make sure you know how to use your machine. This could be a great starter adjustable stroke machine that will help you understand what those different strokes do to your lines and dots and shading. So I highly recommend playing around with each of those settings, but understanding what the appropriate settings for lining versus shading and packing actually are, so that you understand how versatile and awesome this machine is. And then when you get on people, you're able to use it just as efficiently. This amazing machine is on Amazon. Please use the link in the description below. It helps out the channel so much. And please like and subscribe before you go. Take care. Bye-bye now. Thank you. Bye.